everybody, what's going on? I'm Austin from Boss, and here at American Musical Supply today we are going over the brand new Boss Waza Tube Amp Expander. So those things are really cool and unique reactive load box that can allow you to take any amplifier, any tube amplifier that you own, and turn it to its maximum dynamic level without actually having that much volume coming through the speaker. So this thing has 16 individual reactive loads that you can individually voice to match the amplifier play feel. So every speaker cabinet will have a different voltage dynamic. And now with the Waza Tube Amp Expander and its 16 reactive loads, you can voice the reactive load to match the amplifier the way it was designed to be used, whether that be through a 112 cabinet or a 412 or a 212 or a 410 or any sort of combination of different cabinets. Some of the other fun features about this is that I can save up to 10 rig presets. So this can be a combination of both the internal effects as well as the internal cab simulation, as well as the reverb or any of the algorithms that I decide to use in those effect categories. And the internal effects built into the Tube Amp Expander, there are 4. There is compression, you have delay, reverb, and EQ. There are actually 2 separate EQ sections. There is one for going to just the actual physical cabinet that you're plugged into, as well as the cabinet simulator or the IR simulator that will come out of the XLRs out of the back of the Tube Amp Expander. The other thing that Tube Amp Expander has that is also great for amplifiers that might not have this is an actual effects loop. And this is post power amp, so if you're pushing your amplifier really hard to get the nice creamy distortion and sag and compression that you want from your power amp section, you can have an effects loop to have a very clear signal. So this is what that sounds like with a MD500 on a phaser. See how it's nice and clear and very crisp, and I can still dig into the instrument and get that really nice dynamic interplay between me and my amplifier. The other great thing about the Waza Tube Amp Expander is that I can also change channels on a multi-channel amplifier, whether that be via the 1/4-inch amp control output on the back of it, or using the MIDI out and through to send MIDI messages to amplifiers that might have more than 2 channels. So here's a taste of the distortion channel on this Friedman amp here. As well as having control over the physical amplifier itself and the effects loop, I also have foot switchable control of all of the internal effects as well. So not only changing between multiple different presets, but I can also use the manual mode on the Boss GAFC to turn on and off the delay, as well as tap the tempo of my delay. So here's an example of the delay. Again, you can change the algorithm of that delay. You can also change the parameters and individual controls using the Boss Tone Studio app here that I have on the computer, as well as controlling the cabinet simulation, which, speaking of, I'll give you a little taste of the cabinet simulator. So first, what you're going to hear is actually the mic'd up cab that we have in front here. So I'll give you a little bit of clean and then a little bit of dirt, and then we'll go and switch to the other side, which will have the cabinet simulation. The cab IR that I'm using is actually a 412 of V30s in it. So here we go. And now here's that same riff being played through the cabinet IR simulator. So here we go. And again, we can control that cab IR, we can change it to different sounds, and we can also spread those different sounds over 10 different rig presets, which is really, really nice. The other thing that I have on the front controls of the Tube Amp Expander is this handy reverb control. Now I noticed that this Friedman amp does not have built-in reverb. So this is a great control to have, that I can actually control the dedicated amount of reverb, both going to the cabinet as well as going to the XLR lineouts on the back. I also have a dedicated line out control, a dedicated speaker out control going to my cabinet, and a dedicated headphone output, so I can actually listen to my favorite tube amp cranked up all the way with headphones on and not even running through a cabinet, which is a great thing. Some of the other fun features about the Waza Tube Amp Expander is that it also has a built-in Class A/B power amp section. So this is the power amp section that is actually powering the 212 cabinet that I'm playing through, but this can also be great for low wattage amplifiers. So if you have a 5 or a 10 watt tube amplifier that doesn't have enough clean headroom to reach over a drummer, now you can take that little 5 or 10 watt amp, you can plug it into the Tube Amp Expander and use the Tube Amp Expander's built-in Class A/B power amp to bring that amplifier up to a clean headroom volume, which is also very nice. The USB on the Tube Amp Expander works two ways, so I can actually control everything in the Tube Amp Expander using the handy dandy editor program, which is free for download on the Boss Tone Studio website, as well as I can also send USB audio out from the Tube Amp Expander and record directly into my computer, having all of the same fun features as if I was to run XLRs out of the back of this. So that is all of the fun features on the Waza Tube Amp Expander. Again, my name is Austin from Boss here at American Musical. You can check out this Boss product and more Boss products at americanmusical.com. Thanks a lot.